All right, welcome. So today I'm going to be guiding you through kind of a full body strength routine. For this class, you're going to need a resistance band and at least one dumbbell. And I'm probably going to go on the slightly heavier side for the dumbbell if you have access to it. You can also use two dumbbells for this too, so just whatever you have. You also don't need to use a dumbbell. You could find maybe like a laundry detergent bottle, fill it up with water, or have it with laundry detergent, and you can use that too. So we'll start with just a little bit of a warm-up, and then we'll get into the strength part. It's always really important to warm up before you add weights to whatever you're doing, just to prevent injury. So you're gonna start by holding your resistance band. You wanna keep your arms locked out like this, so no bending in the elbows, keep your wrists straight, and we're just gonna apply a little bit of tension on the band like this. We're gonna do some pass-throughs. You're gonna bring this overhead. At a certain point, you might feel like you're gonna get stuck and you can't go any further. So just pause at that point and come back. Some people are really flexible. They might be able to go all the way back. So just do what you can here. We're gonna do that a couple times. Like I said, you might have to stop right when you get stuck and then come back, and that's totally cool. If you find this too easy, you can start to bring your hands closer together on the band. You can also do this with a broomstick or a belt. Okay, do that a couple more times. Again, if you're able to, go all the way through. And let's do that one more. Good. All right, now we'll have the arms out in front like this and keep the elbows locked out, and we're just gonna pull the band apart, bringing the band to the chest, and then return. You think of squeezing your shoulder blades together. You don't want it to be too heavy here. We're just warming up. So ideally just choose something nice and light. Try your best not to shrug your shoulders. Two more. And good. All right, you can ditch the band, shake it out. The next one we're gonna work on is our hip hinge. So I'll turn to the side so you can see. Keep your feet about hip width apart, and you're gonna pull your butt backwards. And imagining that if I have a tail, someone's trying to pull my tail away from me. You're gonna pull your hips back. You may feel a stretch through your hamstrings and through your glutes. All right, once you get the hang of that, you can also add this nice forward reach. Come back. Just warming up the hips here. Warming up the shoulders a little bit more. Just focusing on your breathing. If you ever feel like you need a little bit more time to work on a particular warm-up exercise, please take it. Let's do that 3 more times. And 1 more. Good. All right, now you're gonna just do a little hinge and then start to bend your knees, working into our squat. Come back up. So again, little hinge, and then primarily focusing on the knee bend. You could do this to a chair as well. You can just tap your hips, or you can sit all the way down. Just wanna get those legs warmed up. Do as many as you need to get those legs nice and warm. If you find that 10 reps of this will completely deplete you, then we don't want to do that. Maybe you'll want to focus more on just doing little mini squats too. Your warm-up should not deplete you. Okay, a couple more. And good. So feel free, if you feel like you need another round of warm-up, you can go ahead and do that. But now we'll jump into the strength portion. So there's only gonna be 3 exercises. I'm gonna show you it, we'll do it together twice, but feel free, you can do this for 1 round. You can do it up to, let's say about 5 rounds. So do as many as you feel comfortable doing, do as many as you have time for. Just make sure that you're not going to injure yourself or feel completely depleted after. So let's start with, we'll need a dumbbell, and oh, I have one here. So you'll need a dumbbell and a band for this. The first movement we're gonna do You're gonna hold on to the ends of the dumbbell like this. It's called a crush grip. You're going to curl and then push overhead. What I want you to visualize here is that you're picking up a box and then trying to put it up on the top shelf. So we're gonna do that 10 times. 3, 4, good, 5, you can do this from seated if you want to, 6, 7, 8, 9, keep breathing, and 10, all right? You can put that dumbbell off to the side, just shake it out, gather your breath. We want to make sure that we're resting. When we're doing strength exercises, the muscles need a little bit more time to recover between exercises, so shake it out, make sure you grab some water, and then whenever you feel ready, you can jump into the next one. This could take anywhere from 10 seconds to 2 minutes, depending on the weights that you're lifting and what your capacity is. The next one, we're gonna go into a sumo stance. Now, if you'd like, you can have 2 dumbbells for this, or you can have 1. If you have 2, you're gonna hold them out like this. If you have 1, you can hold onto the handle like this, or you can continue with the crush grip. We're gonna go into a nice wide sumo stance, and just like our squat, you're gonna initiate the movement with a hinge. So you're thinking of pulling the hips back slightly and then bending your knees. Come back up. Hips back, bend the knees, and come back up. Think of picking up a nice heavy box that's sitting between your legs. You don't have to go all the way down to the floor. Right, just go as low as you feel comfortable, and then come back up. We're breathing. Inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. Let's do that 3 more times. And you want to find a depth that you're going to be able to maintain for a full 10 repetitions. So if you go really low, but you can only do that 5 times, consider just going a little bit more shallow into your squat. Very good. Put that off to the side. Walk it out, shake out your legs, focus on your breathing. For the next one, you're gonna need our band. I'm gonna show you a couple different options to set this up. So if you're lucky like me, I have a nice stall bar system set up here. So I could just take the band, wrap it around. If you have a banister, a strong banister, you can use this too. We can do this from standing. I like to have a slight bend to my knees. You can even stagger your stance. Keep the shoulders down, and you're gonna pull like you're rowing, okay? 10 times. 2, 3, 4. Keep going if this is the setup that works for you. You can also do this from seated. But not everyone's gonna have access to something like this. So I'll show you some other options. You can sit on a chair, throw your foot up onto, an ottoman, a stool, some blocks, and we're gonna take the band and just wrap it around the foot. So just make sure it's centered there, and we use our foot as the anchor. So same idea, we're gonna keep the shoulders down and pull back. I like to keep the foot elevated here so that I can really focus on pulling my shoulders towards the back wall. You can do this from the ground. What I find tends to happen is people will start to shrug their shoulders up like this, and it can create problems in the neck. So if you are going to do it with your foot down on the ground with this angle, try your best not to shrug your shoulders and really just think about pulling your shoulders backwards. Okay? And then lastly, you can also do this from the floor. You can wrap the band around both feet. This is not always the most comfortable version or accessible version for everyone, but you have options here. Okay, so that should be 10 reps now. Take a break from that. So whatever banded row option you want to use, you can use that. We shake it out, and we're going to do another round of that together. So grab your dumbbell. So that's one set. You could stop there if you'd like. You can go for a second set. You can go for a third set. Make sure you're taking, again, ample breaks between those sets. So we're gonna start with our curl to our press. We're thinking of lifting an object up and pushing it up to the top shelf. 2, 3, keep breathing. 4, you can see that I add a little bit of like a bounce with my knees. 5, 6, this just helps me get a little momentum to initiate the movement. 7, 3 more. 8, 9, and 10. Very good. Next one, we're gonna do our sumo squats. So hips go back, bend the knees, and come back up. 1, 2. If you need more breaks in between, you can. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. Good. Next we'll do our band variation. Choose whichever row option you'd like. Sit up nice and proud, shoulders down, and we're pulling back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. 1, 2, you can add a slight lean forward and back, not too much. 5, 6, keep breathing. 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so that's the end of round 2. Like I said, you can stop there or you can add a couple more rounds. A couple things to note. So if you find 10 reps is too much, drop it down. Try 8 reps, maybe even want to try 6 reps. You can always use lighter weights. You can use no weights at all. Play around with different band resistances. If you want more of a cardiovascular challenge mixed in with all the strength training, maybe you'll take less breaks between the exercises and sets, and that's gonna keep your heart rate pumping the whole time. So you can also play around with that too. But ultimately, just make sure that you're feeling strong enough to do whatever you're doing here so that you're feeling safe. So give it a try. Let me know if you have any questions.